Now, number one, Melo's overrated as fuck too.
Oh yes, sir. He gonna start it off for me.
No, Melo's definitely overrated as fuck. Now he was on the
That bullshit.
Now listen though, he was on the Denver Nuggets from 2003 to 2011. All that time, what the fuck did you do? Say that's Paul Pierce, fucking lose. Like, what did you do?
Hold on. Doug got a rebuttal.
Oh, go ahead, Doug. I'll let you go.
He went to the Eastern Conference Finals, a piece of shit.
One time.
And lost. And lost. Okay, man. I'm not. What was your rebuttal?
Wait, hold on. And in that year, he was 54-28, and they were second in the West. So they lost to somebody who was less than them.
The Lakers, who won the championship. Yeah.
He had the second best record.
It's not like he lost to some fucking bums. He lost to Kobe.
Confused.
But Denver had a squad.
Never had a squad.
Never had a squad.
You had JR, you had Chauncey, you had AI. You
No,
had
you didn't have
Birdman.
AI.
Oh, AI got traded.
Not that year.
Confused.
He said you're confused.
He still lost. I'm not understanding. Like, Carmelo has all these scoring titles. And
he
that's
has
great.
one. He has one.
I'll say he has one. And that's my point. Okay, you know what? So we brought the fucking Melo talk. I'm going to join in now because Melo's on my number one, too.
Hold on.
Go ahead. All right, my fault. Go ahead. I got a whole list.
And then the thing is, he averaged all this whole time in Denver 25, 7, and 2, which is great, and still won nothing. How can you average all this and win nothing? I don't understand.
Okay, first off, Nene was nice. Stop playing. Nene was decent. Stop playing with him. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't understand how you can do all this. You're so glorified. You're supposed to be this great player and everything. You went to Denver, you fucking lost. You went to New York, you fucking lost. You got. I don't want to say kicked out of the league. You weren't in the league for like 2 years. You come back to the league. Oh my God, Melo's back. Oh my God, it's over, y'all niggas. Oh my God, Melo's about to drop 30 on y'all niggas every fucking night. And fucking lost. The nigga was on he was on a 10-day contract before the Blazers. Like, fuck it. We'll bring you onto the team. And did nothing to improve him. Maybe he got them farther in the playoffs. Maybe. I'll give him that. But what does that what did that equal?
So Shane said that West was loaded, bro. Yes. But again,
that's not that means nothing.
It doesn't, because
when
you're talked about the way Melo's talked about, you're one of the best of all time. You gotta get it the fuck done. That's what separates the upper echelon, the way I talk about Melo, the upper echelon, the top of the top. That's what separates them from everybody else. He's a great player. Listen. The one thing about Melo, I always say it. I'm a huge Melo fan. No bullshit. Melo is my top 5 players of all time because he's a hooper. At the end of the day, hoopers love hoopers. Melo's gonna get you a fucking bucket every single time. That's not my issue. My issue is, what else do you bring to the table?
Not a fucking thing.
You rebound decent. He does. I think he averaged about 7 rebounds for his whole entire career. It's good as a small forward. I ain't gonna lie, but he doesn't make his teammates better. He don't pass good. You don't defend. We know this stuff. We know this. He said he gonna get one this year. No, he's not. I'm not even gonna talk about the Lakers. I already got that.
Also,
go ahead. Beach is drawing tonight.
The thing is that everyone says Melo has all this great talent like LeBron, this and the third. That's just great. But how come LeBron can do it early in his career and Melo couldn't?
Don't do that. Don't do that though. You can't.
Yeah, that's the problem I got.
I'm just.
That's the problem I got.
LeBron didn't make the playoffs his first year in the league.
Amen. That's
Melo did.
But not even hold on. Not even that. The problem with Melo, Ray, is that if he would have came out in a different draft, I really think we were talking about him a little bit different.
Nah.
He came in with LeBron, and he automatically on LeBron, yo.
And that's all cool and everything. First of all, since we're on the draft, your dumbass Pistons fucked this career up. Nigga Larry Brown just got hired as the Pistons coach. Promised my mans that he was going to Detroit, and what happened? Y'all picked Darko fucking Milicic. Y'all stupid ass niggas. Y'all clowns.
And with the team y'all had, y'all could have got a couple of Melo, bro.
Y'all got 2 or 3 more rings if y'all would have drafted the right nigga. Secondly, with that, Melo ended up his rookie year having a better year than Bron. Went to the playoffs, better record. Bron had a losing record. Their stats were similar, and Bron gets rookie of the year, but Melo didn't. He was robbed, but you're asking.
Are you right?
But, and back to Denver. You said he didn't do anything to Denver. Before Melo was drafted, Denver was on a 7-year hiatus from the fucking playoffs.
Yes.
Drafted Melo. They went to the playoffs every single year.
Every year.
to the Western Conference Finals.
I have a question.
4 years in, nigga. 4 years
I have
in.
a question.
That's young. My nigga was what, 22?
I have a question.
What's up?
Did he win a ring though?
Oh my.
He looked-
He said, nah. He said, this guy. Listen, I'm not even going to talk about
He's
rings.
on another level right now.
I'm not even going to talk about rings because rings do not mean everything. It does count for something, though. That's all I'm saying.
It does count.
It does count, but you can still be one of the greatest of all time and not win a ring. All I'm saying is, this is only the thing that's for me. We give so many excuses for Melo, and a lot of superstars do. I'm not saying that. So it's not just Melo. Like, all superstars get excuses. They deserve it. They're superstars for a reason. But the idea that he did not have a good team is just like absurd to me. He always had decent pieces, good role players. And my thing is, when you're the superstar, and yes, he took him to the playoffs every year, but he struggled to get out the first round every single year. And yes, with the Knicks, he had his last 2 seasons. Last 3. He did not make the playoffs, and their team was shaky. I ain't gonna lie, but it was in the East, and you can't be that great or consider that great. And in his last 2 seasons, 14-15, he got 17 wins, and 15-16, 32 wins. And the very last year, 16-17, 31 wins. That's actually 4 years he did not make the playoffs with the Knicks. 4 years, and you couldn't make the playoffs in the East, and the East was worse back then. Okay. Now, go ahead.
Can we name these players that he was playing with?
Okay, so in 12 and 13, and I only wrote down certain players because, again, I said his team was weak. I wholeheartedly agree with that. But again, as a superstar in the East, you can't get me into the 8th spot or 7th spot. The Knicks are probably worse now than they were with Melo. Melo's better than everybody on the Knicks today. Way better than everybody in the Knicks. So, at one time, because they say when he was with the Knicks, he always had bad teams for the most part, right? They had Melo. They had Billups, which came from Denver. And yes, Billups was old, but he was old in Denver, and he was still doing good things. He had Aaron Aflalo, who was no fucking bum. Wilson Chandler, who was a very sneaky player. He did a little bit of everything. I loved Wilson Chandler. Danilo Gallinari, which he's older today, and he's still a hot commodity. He was just as good back then. And Amari Stoudemire, who was injury prone. I'll give y'all that. He was injury prone, but he was still there. And he had Jason Kidd, who just came off a championship. Had Tyson Chandler. Like, my thing is, he always had decent role players. That's all I'm saying. That's my only thing. No, he did not have other superstars. I can agree with that. But when you are the star player, again, I compared it to CP3, and you said that's a bad comparison. I think it's a great comparison. CP3 with the Thunder, he was older. They weren't supposed to really do shit. He was supposed to get traded. They didn't even know. He took them to the playoffs in the loaded West with Steven Adams. And granted, he had Shy, but Shy wasn't really going crazy like he is nowadays. He was still kind of fresh. He wasn't like this amazing player that he is today. Chris Paul brought them to the playoffs, and you're telling me someone like Melo couldn't with some of the teams that he had. He always had decent players. No, he never had superstars. I wholeheartedly agree with that and understand that. But he always had players that can produce, great role players. Nene was no slouch. JR, we know JR could have dropped 30 on most nights if he was hot. He had Billups. He had AI. He had Amari. He had Kidd. He had all these players that are legit, whether they're old or not. You know, they're legit. They know how to play the game of basketball. They were smart players. He's played with some of the – he had Russell Westbrook. He had James Harden. He had the Blazers and Lillard and CJ McCollum. He had those guys. He had them. He had them. But every year is a different excuse. So with the Blazers, it was, oh, CJ ain't that good. And now the center's always injured. It's always something. He played with Damian Lillard, though. If Melo's this great, make it work. Make it work. Right?
Come on, Melo fan.
No, I'm just listen. I'm gonna let him rebuttal. I just want to know. You don't like Steven Adams? He's better than Nene. He is better than Nene, but Steven Adams ain't like a game changer. No one's worried about Steven Adams.
Nene was a better scorer.
Nene was definitely.
Adams is a better overall
Let me tell you
center
something.
as far as rebounds.
You
and defense.
are severely underrating Nene, and it's crazy to me because Nene was just a hustle guy. No, again, he's not this superstar. He was a great role player. He was a rebound chaser. He was a putback guy. He was like Kenneth Faried. Like Kenneth Faried had
He
like
knew his role.
3 or 4 years. That's what you need in today. That's what gets me with this superstar talk. You don't always need superstars around you to win. The Pistons didn't have superstars when he won with Billups. It was a bunch of role players. You need role players that know how to play together. It's a team game. That's my point. So when we say like, oh, Melo didn't have superstars, no, he did not. But he always had good role players. He was the guy. He was the star. Go ahead, Doug.
Every single team that you brought up that Melo played on, from New York to modern day, they always ran into a younger team with more talent. And Melo's team never was fully healthy ever in New York. These niggas played the Heat. Melo was going, I think he had 3 straight games where he had to drop 40 just to be in the game because, what the fuck is his name?
Amari?
No. Well, his dumb ass punched the fuck.
He did, yes.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Shumpert tore his ACL after he was locking D-Wade up.
That's true.
The first 2 tore his ACL. So that's mismatch. Now you got to bring in niggas like Ray Felton off the bench to fucking guard D-Wade. That's terrible matchup. Fast forward to now. Fucking Portland. See, Melo's literally supposed to be the 4th option on that team. CJ doesn't show up. Nurkic's hurt every fucking year. I don't know what the hell's wrong with his Bosnian ass. Can't stay on the court. Him and Dame literally had to figure some shit out. Dame went blackout.
He did.
Melo did what he could do. Where does it fit in? You can't go cold against niggas like the Nuggets. The Nuggets have great talent around him. The year before that, who did they play? I think we lost to the Lakers. Damn sure he can't go cold against Brown.
Right.
The fuck. And then mismatches all across the board. It was the same. It's a lot of mismatches on these teams. I get what you're saying. Melo should have been able to take these niggas over the hump. But in the East, for sure, Indiana Pacers, we got bounced by them niggas. They were fucking stacked. The Heat were stacked. Boston had a big 3. Fucking Chicago was tough. Like, the East wasn't, the top of the East was not to be fucked with. Now, the rest of it that trickled down, yeah, you can say that's why the East was weak. But from out West, top to bottom, shit's crazy.
You're right.
Again, I want to ask them real quick. We're talking about Melo real quick, right?
We got to kind of wrap it up, too. We got the hour marker.
I know. I don't want to. I don't even want to talk about Melo and Portland right now. It's not the same Melo anymore.
It's not.
But we're not gonna act like, because me said earlier, like he hasn't done nothing in Portland. Scoring wise, like old Melo, no, but he's made some clutch motherfucking shots in Portland.
Of course.
He's made some big shots.
You know, Steven Adams, like he was ass, bro. He's not ass, but he's not like, he's going to give you 10 and 10, bro. Then Nate can give you 10 and 10. Come on, bro.
Yeah, they're both double-double.